Oh my gosh.
She did one expression, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Can you hold that up, please?
The next one, oh my gosh.
Vampire.
What kind is it?
I don't know, I can't pronounce it right. I'm not going to say. Got it?
Bottoms up.
Was that worth an oh my gosh?
Oh my gosh, that's a 6 month
Oh my gosh.
When Henry and I have our tea, we can each have a cup.
That's right.
Not the share.
It looks like you're gonna have 3 cups.
I don't know whether I'm supposed to save all these things or not.
You better so they don't break when they go home.
You can. Oh my God. I'm not going to say it.
You said it, Grandma.
Vicious.
Hey, they come with napkins too, huh?
These are napkins.
Well, you can
Take it all out.
By the instruction?
Unless you want to.
Well, I saw it.
$10 and we'll get
This on the plane?
What?
Did you bring this on the plane?
No, I got that part.
Want to hold that up, please?
It came huge. Grandma used to boil. They all she took it all out.
No, it's
Yeah, stuff in it. Yeah, that's what I did. We did God knows they did. We did have one British water.
after the summer, it's not bad. I wouldn't want to
Oh, that's what's in the small one?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Barnacles.
those are called?
Well, thank you all very much. The whole thing has been a big surprise.
Oh, really? And it comes right into.
Have to write about this.
Was this in there, Grandma? We are?
Becky Stroller.
Her children.
I think it's in.
Grandma, the big surprise is that all your son-in-law and daughters-in-law are sending your children home to live with you for 3 weeks.
That'd be a more surprise than this one.
Yeah, that's all right. They do the cooking. Can you manage?
Probably more than oh my
I
god.
don't have a dishwasher.
You don't turn this one upside down. You can break. There you go, Grandma. Right over.
That's a little. I can't.
Now,
See what it is.
he likes to have them.
Oh, there's some here.
No.
Do you give them away?
Your mother may not agree with that.
It might be mine, all right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to say it. She did casserole.
There's,
Oh my gosh!
there's one in the right hand.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
They're waiting to hear you say it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
There's something in your hand too. There's one in that. In your hand and your.
Yeah, in this issue.
What's in there?
Just a dish. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you very much for everything. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I'll find it.
5 kids was enough.
Really?
Here.
How'd
you get it?
Becky, let's see you do it again.
Too fast.
Oh, there's a lot.
Becky?
You're the boss.
Yours is longer.
Becky,
Yours is long
do
and
that again.
skinnier.
Yours started like a snake, right? I'm dead like a
We don't need to go to Mariah's. We don't need to go to Mariah's. I was wondering when you were talking about that. If that's where. I just heard cars there. Oh.
It's our intro.
That just said, I'm
Which one?
Now it's about me. Show your appreciation for it.
Wait a minute, we need to practice this. Wanna go to the other room?
I think you're doing fine.
No, wait, so we want to give you one other thing to help show to you our love and appreciation. You've demonstrated to us for your very long life.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much.
Let's read it. Read it out loud.
Well, you missed a good
Take a
picture.
while, but
Read it out loud.
You have that locket. Where are you?
Is that the picture in the locket?
Oh, that's locket
Oh,
right here.
really?
is the one
That's such a
you
cute
picture. And I love those fur top shoes.
What year was that taken in?
1916. No, it was 16.
60.
Notice the iris.
3/4 of a century.
I used to read about that in grade school.
It was the cake
That was real.
Wasn't that
before-
ancient?
Flaming cake.
Before World War
That was
I.
about right. It wasn't lit. Oh my gosh, Richard. We're not gonna read this whole
What was
thing.
going on, wasn't it?
You wanna read it?
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
might be
Let
hard to
Dad
read.
read it. Here.
You want me to read it
Yes,
now?
sit beside me.
There isn't that much in it, I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's not much in
There
it.
ain't much here.
Not chair.
That'd be over it.
Happy 76th birthday to our mom. Official 76th birthday, Mariah K. Bardsley, January 23,
Your sister will do it.
1490. Mom, 76 candles on there. Where are all the butterflies and bees meet? Henry, Dan,
They represent each child,
John, Richard.
Fertility.
the birds and the bees.
You know what
What
the
is it she
Irish
said?
What was that?
fertility.
What represented?
We found out what caused it.
I read it out.
Dear Mom, happy birthday, Mom. Hopefully you remember the 5 faces shown below. You should, even though the most recent of the 2 pictures was taken over 36 years ago. That's because you had a lot to do with how this motley group turned out. And if we don't say so ourselves, you've done good. This little book tries to express our love for you and our appreciation for everything you did to help prepare us for when we will no longer be kids. Thanks, Mom, and happy birthday. We love you. John, Harry, Ann, Tom, Richard.
Is that Richard down
With the hat. He had a time when he
That
was.
was gonna be the Joker.
Fungus.
I remember that hat.
Now, this is John, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You can look at the adult picture and then that'll convince you.
Oh, I didn't see that.
John Bardsley, 36 West 250.
You don't have to, you don't need to go into everything.
I don't need to read that?
Well, not
Read the
that.
letter,
Yeah,
but not his address.
not the
We know that.
I didn't leave anything out.
In case somebody doesn't have it.
Mom Bardsley's impact. Exclamation point 3 times. Mom studied nutrition at Penn State University. Mom was an expert on nutrition for us children. Mom's stock remark for a snack was, if we could not find anything good to eat, Mom told us, eat a banana or have a piece of fruit. Mom was actually ahead of her time for nutrition. The treat of the year was the famous lamb's cake for our birthday. Remember the head for the birthday baby? But for such a great cook, I could never understand Mom's passion for birdseed under the parakeet's cage. Who knew what Mom was eating?
What did you eat?
The bird seat in the cage? Most of the time.
What?
Is that why she peeps all the time?
Mom had high standards in personal conduct. When the discussion got a little thick, and my story did not exactly wash, Mom would say, if you lie, your lies will find you out. Do not talk about other people. If you do not have anything good to say, be quiet. There was absolutely no off-color jokes or language described by Mom under any circumstance. Our mouth was washed out with soap for such an infraction. I think the worst Mom ever said was, "Oh, shaw." Maybe that was Grandma Kay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh!
After I carefully wiped the bathroom floor, Mom would inspect the floor. Mom expected the job well done. And Mom found a little hair under the toilet. The floor had to be completely redone, and the big 10-cent allowance forfeited for not doing the job exquisitely the first time. The maid service charged 25 cents for making beds or picking up clothes. I paid dearly for special services that I did not do. Mom was the first old house fixer-upper I know. Mom recognized diamonds in the rough. Mom never seemed to mind when I used her sterling dish for a red paint pan for my bedroom painting. I was looking for a larger house, and Mom would always say when we drove by a rundown dump of a house, that place could be fixed up.
That's right.
We finally bought one of the fixer-uppers at the 1208 Old Lancaster Road. It turned out to be one of the nicest houses we ever lived in. I think Mom's ship began to come in and has been coming ever since. The oldest of the lamb's heads. And there's Harry and Caroline. How old were you there?
Yes, Mom.
Oh, I was probably first or second grade because you had 4 teeth across them when you had your picture.
Oh, that's why we wasn't showing them in.
Dear Mom, I remember your nose for dime stores. I do too.
For what? Dime stores.
How
Dime
you can
stores.
sniff them out from a distance. We'd go into a classy town and she'd head for a 5 and 10.
That's the way I remember.
Come out from a distance you can head for. Or, just why are you wearing your white shoes? Response to the river. Takes place in your own home. You heard that story, didn't you? Your memory like an elephant. Shame on you, Dad, for ever thinking about making a crack about other comparisons to this majestic mammoth. Hiding the candy only to forget where. What? Hiding the candy only to forget where.
That's Mom.
I know she did that with some presents for me she didn't find till 2 or 3 months later. The red bow tie John and I got for Christmas. Or do we have to thank Dad? Do we have Dad to thank for this memory?
You do?
What is it?
Why me?
Remember the bow ties?
The bow ties with a red light on
Yeah,
it?
but I say, why do you thank me for it?
Well, I assumed it was Mom, but I...
No, it was Uncle Ralph that gave them to you.
You still have yours,
And
John?
it was slave and it told us how
No,
to
no,
use
it's,
them.
you know, you got some and sent everybody some.
Your sage observation of many houses, they shouldn't be
Oh,
torn
isn't that the same
down.
one?
They
It's
sure
one
could be
hand
fixed
set.
up nice. Your favorite side, kitchen closed, let's go out to dinner. That still works. Carl remembers you as one who has discovered eternal youth. Despite your many ailments, you may never seem to age. She's still trying to discover your secret. Is it naps, or perhaps it's like the poem? If I had it to do over again, I'd take time to listen to the birds. Mom knows them. Give to the poor. She does this too. She watches them yet. I am thankful for the discipline. How we
Who
know.
wrote that?
This is still hanging.
He's trying to make brownie points. The discipline, how we, note the plural, needed it, although I didn't appreciate it at the time. Your unity with Dad, the consistently unified front, was a source of stability and security lacking in many families. I know few families with the harmony we enjoy. Your thoughtfulness, I believe all your children have borne a good fruit from this implanted seed. Carolyn is convinced, with, as you might imagine, little objection from me, that you raised a wonderful and thoughtful husband.
Brownie points.
No, I wrote it.
For bringing all of us up in the Christian faith, without which I shudder to think of the consequences. For the experiences you may have nearly forgotten, although I doubt it on second thought, but I have not. The birthday parties with white coconut lamb mold, not moldy, cakes and pin-the-tailed donkey, for piano lessons, which must have done some good, although I'm still trying to figure out what. For the one-day trip to a farm where I had arguably one of the happiest days of my life, jumping off barn rafters into a huge haymow.
Where was that? Was that at Holloway?
Was it, no, it was the kindergarten teacher's place. I think. I can't
Miss
think what her
Dulles?
name was.
Miss Dulles.
No, kindergarten teacher, like when I had
Mrs.
charge
Tate.
of kindergarten.
Mrs. Tate?
No, it was after that. I can't remember. I remember what you mean, but I can't think of it. No.
It was in Roslyn somewhere.
No.
Huh? Oh, it wasn't in
It
Roslyn.
wasn't in Roslin. We lived in Roslin.
Oh, it was in Glenside?
No, it was more out in the country sort of.
For visiting the mysterious Christian Sci home, we were almost daily pimple-popping regiment. Yep.
Oh, what?
Remember that?
What?
I know you had them bad. We were almost daily. Oh.
You read that? That was once was enough.
And Philadelphia Acme Sanatorium, or is it Sanatorium, for hosting a euphemism for enduring the Cub Scout meetings in Roslyn and Great Valley. Young people's gather in our house. For the Cape May vacation requires ice cream. And while we're on the subject of food, for the chili con carne bread dressing, it wasn't until later in life that potato dressing gained equal billing. Corn mush, question mark, with syrup, apple crisp, which I want you to know we serve to guests on 4 occasions this holiday season, including Christmas dinner. For enduring, although not always silently, my determination to transfer the Roslyn house backyard or a baseball diamond. For many more, loving and Harry.
You missed one thing. You missed the liver.
The liver,
Yeah, I'd like to have included that.
And the ketchup. The liver?
Yeah.
The liver.
The shoe leather.
Like rubber.
You need the shoe leather when it tasted so bad.
That's a good picture of your family.
That's a terrible picture of me.
It's the best we do.
No, I think that's pretty good.
She probably didn't care about it.
So we had to work.
Probably best.
Since you're the one that has to look at it.
Ann's wonderful memories. Going to see the movie High Society with Grace Kelly, who was your favorite actress. Or our fun shopping trips to Philadelphia on the train, especially the ones with Richard. Your wonderful memory that I didn't inherit. The only time I remember you were sitting down was to skim the newspaper after dinner. Never criticize the other family members. The one time I saw you play the piano. Rob,
Yes, you did play the piano one time in Roslyn.
you did?
Because I was in bed and I knew that all the piano players was in bed and who was playing the piano. I stuck down and she was playing the piano.
Conservation. Bill says you
Did I
were the
make that up?
first person he
No,
knew
that's
who
true.
recycled Christmas paper birthday cards. Glass jars.
Yeah.
You know when
Emphasis
she
on
reuses?
birthday.
I heard of that.
Glass jars, cutting napkins in half, mixing milk, having a compost pile and douse.
Grandma, I like that.
I remember cutting a napkin.
Yeah, I do too.
Did I ever tell you about the soup?
We did.
Soup.
Soup?
No,
No, let's go ahead.
I got the ruler out and measured it. It was 1/4 inch deep in the ruler. She was frugal. I mean, I wasn't making much money. She saved the soup. And I thought that if she heated it, she must have turned it like in the fire. Because if she delayed, she would have burned it out. And I got the ruler. She didn't like that when I stuck it in and made it 1/4 inch deep. No, not most of it. Just a little of it. Conservation was the subject.
I remember once I made cream of celery soup, and the recipe said strain it and use the soup, so you took a bite of it and you said, "Where's the stuff you took out of it?" I said, "In this sink." He went in and got it and dumped it.
Christmas, all the delicious nut breads you made every year for all our teachers. Still my favorite nut bread.
Teachers.
The canned snow you sprayed on the French doors in Roslyn every Christmas. Making Christmas cookies every year. The Lifesaver books.
I remember how I used to hunt for them, and I found out they didn't even like them.
My mom did. I did.
I got lightsabers.
I did. Who didn't like them? I like them.
You mean you walked them up, they had lightsabers in it? Oh, yeah, I used to like that.
I was the one that did
I think they didn't
I
like
didn't think you got
It's like a book and you open it up and it's got lightsabers in it.
Food, the cupcakes you made the night Richard was born.
I don't even remember that.
We weren't even,
You made cupcakes the night Richard was born?
Yes, I
That must have
did.
been before.
we were
I
in,
know I had a whole dining room full of ironing that
we
I
were in
had.
Oakdale.
I needed them for picnic the next day.
Oh, you stayed, we were in Oakdale then.
The delicious
Yeah.
eggnog you made me the night I knocked my first tooth out, I'll never
Oh, I'll
forget
never
that.
forget that.
All the lamb molds you made, at least 4 each year for our birthdays. The fruit pie with cornflake crust you made for breakfast for one of my slumber parties. It was a hit. The huge cake, 4 tiers you made for the surprise party Alice had for me. All the candy you get in hot August and Gasford. I've never had much delicious asparagus, had more delicious asparagus and corn on the cob. All those dinners in the dining room when it would have been so much easier for you to eat in the kitchen. All those turkeys you cooked, and I didn't know you didn't like turkey.
Is that right?
I can take it really good.
Handmade items. The red sweater you made, which was stolen at the YMCA. The red and cream skirt you made for May Day. The green sweater you finished, which I had barely started. All the booties and layette sweaters you made. The red velvet dress you made when I was in 10th grade. My teacher said it was too low cut. Your retort, what do you have to hide? The yellow corduroy suit you made in junior high. I had so many compliments on it. The brown and turquoise plaid jumper you made in elementary school. Teach me to sew and knit. Letting John and me make candles in your kitchen. We got waxed everywhere. The beautiful ribbon vest you made a few years ago. All the Afghans you made. Around the time of our marriage, the time you said you hoped our children had Bill's eyes. I was surprised that I didn't know I was going to marry him. Standing up at the wrong time at our wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Helping Bill and me when each baby was born. Ruth remembers making ornaments, cookies, and other crafts in your kitchen. Becca remembers you taught her how to knit. And you always brought her sherbet, her favorite, and you brought ice cream for the family gatherings. David loves a picture of you on a camel.
Egypt? Yeah.
Don't know how to did it all. I don't know how you did it all with no outside help, no dishwasher, for many years, no perma-pressed clothing.
Oh, I had dishwashers.
Thanks for all, especially when I don't remember. It's time.
Uncle Sam's suit.
Did you make that? Did you make that Uncle Sam suit?
No, I got it from Sally McLear at the Lloyd's.
Was that a Halloween costume?
Who wrote this?
Dear, well, this must be Tom. Dear Mom, happy birthday again. As I reflect back over the years while growing up with our family, there are many things which come to mind that you did to positively shape my life. I will try to share some of those thoughts with you here and express my belated thanks for your loving efforts. In the 5th grade, Eric Geis and I went to the Birdwind News Agency. It was near Christmas and I needed money for Christmas presents. However, the store had a football magazine that was hard for me to pass up. The cost was 50 cents, much more than I could afford. The storekeeper was an old man, at least 70, who appeared to be marginally alert. I don't remember this.
I think I see what's coming.
So I casually flipped him a quarter and quickly left. With the football magazine mission complete, Eric was quite impressed with the maneuver. However, the Christian training which you had instilled in me led my conscience to annoy me. The next day, after a sleepless night, I explained the incident to you, suggested I return the already read magazine, and of course get my quarterback.
He hasn't changed.
You had a different idea. Take the additional 25 cents back. Your idea went out. When I returned the magazine, the storekeeper, a lady this time, not the old man from the previous day, accepted my 25 cents and proclaimed what an honest boy I was. Well, we both know, although I didn't think to tell the lady that you were the reason for the honesty. Further, you forced me to learn to face up to my own mistake. Piano lesson. I hated those lessons and practice. The rule was 30 minutes practice a day, except Sunday and lesson day. Failure to meet the practice requirement meant paying for one of the days, meant paying for the lesson. And you never forgot to ask whether the practice requirement had been met. The answer was invariably the same, no, so I always paid for my lessons. It seemed like Christmas in July when I finally, after 3 years, you asked if I wanted to quit piano. You were no doubt frustrated with the lack of progress and complaint. Obviously, I didn't learn much from piano, for I did learn that there is a price to pay when you don't meet your obligations, even when the obligations are not of your own choosing. Mom, you taught us to share and to not complain when things didn't go our way. Of course, I did my share of complaining anyway. At the end of 6th grade, you let me have a class party at our house. Actually, I believe you suggested it. There were to be prizes. One of the prizes was a book. You suggested it be one of my Chip Hilton sports stories. My favorite books. I countered with the Good News Bible. You won. You won, and I dared not complain a second time. Certain events occurred that demonstrated your wisdom and ability to fuse a potential problem, although it was usually many years before I was wise enough to recognize it. One such incident occurred when Harry was going to the movie, Ivanhoe, with a friend. I asked if I could go, and you said that I wouldn't enjoy the movie. This would take Harry off the hook, except that he was not so perceptive either. He said that I would like the movie, so I went and thought it was great.
So what?
So I went and thought it was great. I missed something,
Oh, you got it
No,
all.
you got it.
No?
did I?
I missed it too.
Well, I think you meant Harry didn't want to take him along, but then you said, oh,
No,
he'd like it.
I said I didn't think Harry would want to take it.
You said, I didn't say
Yeah,
that, though.
right.
That's what you meant. You didn't think
I didn't
you
pick
wanted
up
to
on it, right.
Yeah.
And he said, I think he'd like it, so then he went.
Yeah.
The work ethic was work in the garden for an hour. Or was
Oh.
it 15 minutes every day? In the summer, clean the bedroom every week, do the dishes, weed the Irish bed, etc. It seemed as if I weeded the Irish bed all year long, so that those flowers could bloom for one day. What happened to that Irish bed when all the kids were gone? I know that I didn't thank you at the time, and perhaps there may even be some disagreement on the amount of work actually performed. But I believe that your persistence in this regard has made us all better adults. Fortunately, we have all enjoyed good health. One reason for that has to be your insistence that we have a good diet, including those vegetables and salads when we were young. We generally didn't even know what dessert was until we cleaned our plate, and usually it was Dad's favorite. Jello?
I remember chocolate.
That wasn't my favorite. I must admit that it was difficult to look forward to Saturday night dinner, liver, which is to this day, the only food that I don't like. Me either. Karen appreciates that I'm not a picky eater, and she hates liver too. Mom, thank you for being what you were and still are a great mom. Love, Tom. You mean you there?
He doesn't have any teeth.
In fact, I ordered one.
I remember how Richard was, he could wear any kind of a hat.
Yeah, right.
Recollections, when I was very little, Mom and I took the train into Philadelphia. At one point in our journey, a man started to approach us.
What?
I remember what's coming. At one point on our journey, a man started to approach us. Not being sure that his intentions were, Mom made clear her intentions. Get out of my way or I'll knock you down. As we left him standing in his tracks, I don't think any little boy could have thought he had a better escort. Mom's rule over the chicken coop when we lived in Galesburg was legendary. One day, Mom entered the coop and the rooster made an unprovoked attack, planted his spurs on either side of Mom's leg, just above the knee, leaving a huge bruise that remained there for weeks. After that, Mom used to carry a big stick into the coop, and when the rooster would rush her, she would jab the stick into his chest, throwing him back several feet. This process would repeat several times until Mom was finally able to get the eggs from the hens. I used to say the rooster was tough, but Mom was tougher. One Halloween when I was about 4, Mom went with me trick or treating. I fell down a step and hit my forehead on the sidewalk. Afterwards, I told everyone that my mom pushed me down the steps. In actuality, Mom saw the step and I tried to grab me before I got to the keep from fall. It wasn't until years later that I looked back on it and realized how I may have hurt Mom's feelings with my little joke.
We went right over to Taylor's. You told Mrs. Taylor right then.
It was on some tape recorder. Didn't somebody tape this conversation?
I think Helen might have taped
Was this in Mr. Schmidt's house?
Yeah.
Mom taught me many lessons, but one was very simple that I have never forgotten. When I was in elementary school, I had a friend named Jay. I had just hung up the phone after calling him, and Mom asked me when was the last time Jay had called me. Mom's question made me realize that I'd called him the last several times. I resolved not to call him again until he called me. He didn't call me again. It hurt at the time, but I learned that good relationships require the participation of both parties. When I was a little older, a friend of mine, Bob, had come over to our house and was about to leave. Mom asked him if he could put a postcard in the mailbox when he went by. And he said he would. Mom told me later that she was disappointed in Bob because she saw him read the postcard after he went outside. It was not a picture postcard. It disturbed me that he did that, and furthermore, I couldn't figure out why he was even interested enough to read it. When I thought about the broken home that he came from, I realized that he lived in an environment where he probably didn't have a good opportunity to learn right from wrong, like I did.
He stood right outside the window where I was. Read the cover.
Bob Baxter, I don't think, Hank Tom.
Well, this was in
Could have
Berlin.
at least gone around the side of the house.
Very good.
Speaking of right and wrong, I didn't mean to imply that I was perfect. For a brief moment when I was a teenager, I lost my head and led several other kids into court in elementary school, which was just across the street from my house. The school was closed for the summer, and the result of my action was that damage was done to the school. Days later, I was at my friend Jimmy's house when Jimmy's mother took a call, I think from Tom, saying that I needed to come home right away. All the way home, as I pedaled my bike, I pictured a police car in the driveway, and sure enough it was, there when I got home. Later I found out that Mom wasn't even going to let the police officer in the house. Mom said my son wouldn't do such a thing. It was a real two-edged sword because I hadn't known that Mom had thought that highly of my scruples, and now that I did know, she no longer thought so. A few days later, Mom and Dad had to accompany me to the police station while I told of my part of the school break-in. It was not a pleasant experience for any of us. My freedoms were greatly curtailed that summer, but I did learn a valuable lesson that discipline is an important element of life. Richard. Of course, this man with you below was an integral part of your success. He was our dad. Very nice.
Very good letters. I didn't realize it was punching there to read, or I wouldn't have made you read all.
You didn't have your glasses, so I